Hey, folks. Yeah, okay, cool. That seems to be all set up. Let me go and grab some music. Make sure I don't have like a whole album. No, I don't have a whole album queued up. I'm listening to a lot of Were the Kids lately as an old album of his called Bikini Bottom that I've been listening to non-stop for the past couple of weeks, and it's very good. Strongly recommend it. Chat box is a little too tall. As I can just move it. Actually, no, I'll just make it smaller. That's what, like 100 pixels too big? That should. But yes, I'll say welcome in to answer question call. I'm doing fine. I was like dying earlier on this week because it was. Oh yeah, Were the Kids is fantastic. If you've for anyone who has not listened to Were the Kids, strongly recommend. Go watch Big Top Burger. It's really funny, infinitely quotable. Speaking from experience of quoting it infinitely, and his music is brilliant. He does all of the genres, and he does all of them very well. Right, so a little different from usual. This is Homebrew. This is generally what I use for to make all of my products, because I do not have the patience for Affinity Publisher. I have Affinity Publisher. I've had it for a couple months now. I ain't fucking touched it yet because that shit is annoying. Affinity annoys me. I actually have yeah, I'd say this. The screen is actually all of this screen is live. I need to remember that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My Spotify was on here. It's right. So something that I'm going to be working on for the next sort of few weeks is a new book I want to put out probably next month sometime, probably later, probably sort of this time next month, all going well, is Golem, or Golem, however you want to pronounce it. I put out a book, I want to say early on last month, called Beast, which I mostly worked on stream, with some exception, and it was a really neat and tidy little book about just improving the Beasts of 5th edition, and it sold okay, it did pretty well. I knew when I got out of bed today, I knew you'd pull some horse piss like this. The moment I got out of bed today. Typical Steve. I'll get you for this, Steve. Oh my god. Something to that effect. I now want to watch the first season of Big Top Burger. I'm gonna have to do that on stream at some point because the show's so good. The second season is supposed to be finished over the summer. There's 2 episodes to go, I think. But yeah. Beast did Merry Christmas to you, my boy. Merry Christmas to you as well. Aren't we in June? It's 100% June. Because I know, AJ, you can do the backpack vendor monologue, and I'm this close to being able to do the ending to Elk. I can't quite do it, but I can mostly do it. Either way. I put out Beast a couple months ago, and it did okay. It's gone copper on the guild, which is, it's nothing to turn your nose up at, as one can see. It is copper. It's one of my better selling products that I have on the guild. It's got copper. It's rated quite well. He says, yes, it is. It's rated. It's 5 stars. And it was generally quite an enjoyable project, and I want to do the same thing again. I want to do it with Golem. I want to do constructs. I want to focus more on making new constructs than reworking old ones, because some of the 5e constructs are actually really kind of cool. All of them are quite simple, but a lot of them are like simple but effective. I think of things like the Steel Predator, where it's, you know, like a really dangerous monster, but is actually super cool. Like, Stunning Roar is really interesting and really fucking scary. No, I'm not touching Modrons with a 10-foot pole. I may do, don't mind me, I'm just moving my fan. I may do Inevitables, which are Modron adjacent, but they aren't Modrons, very importantly, so I may decide to do something with them. It's slightly warmer in here than I thought it was, so I'm actually going to put my fan on. I'm just going to keep it out of the way. There we go. Is that picking up? It isn't. Good. Oh, it is if I bring my mic down there. Okay, right. Just shifting my fan around a little bit. Okay, I got it. It's just, I've just put it under my desk so it doesn't pick up on the mic too much. Yeah, Inevitables are cool. Marats are very mean as monsters, because, you know, they just hit you. Like, they just walk up to you and you say, yeah, it hits you for 50 points of force damage, and you just sit there and go, what? Yeah, it's correction, 60 points of force. They walk up to you, and you just tell the player you take 120 points of force damage, and they look at you incredulous, and you reiterate you take 120 points of force damage, and then just go about your day. Like, I genuinely can't imagine like a scarier encounter, because Marats have legendary resistance. You can't just like, and they also have really good, their only bad saving throw is Dex. All their other saves are like a minimum of +8, and they have magic resistance, and they have legendary resistance. They can plane shift away. They can like AoE stun. They can just forcibly plane shift you to the Hall of Concordance in Sigil. Like, okay, I don't know what that is, but I know a little bit about Planescape, but not enough to know whatever the fuck the Hall of Concordance. If Joe is here, he may be able to tell us what the Hall of Concordance is, but I don't think he is. He is not. I think, yeah, it's a Friday. I think Joe's busy today. I think. I'm not sure. Either way, I have a list of monsters I like kind of want to do. I might duplicate this tab. I have like a Trello board with all my ideas in it. Some of them are like old monsters and things like that. I can actually... here we go. I don't know why it's opened in Windows Photo Viewer, but whatever. These are all like free art that DM's Guild users can use. I really like Cadaver Collectors, but their stats are really boring. Some of these are just like monsters I would happily reuse or change up a bit. Oh yeah, this is a very old edition Steel Predator. I might use it for something else. Not all of this art is going to get used either, mind you. This can be a stand-in Iron Golem easily enough. I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's kind of neat. This guy kind of looks like a doofus. This is kind of cool. Chain Golem and Bone Golem, 100% going to be a thing. Mirror Golem, new Scarecrows. That just is a Steel Predator, I think. It also looks like a Phyrexian, which this thing looks like a Phyrexian. This is like a half step away from just being Urubrasque, which is cool. I like that. And yeah, it's like a stone golem. It looks more like an elemental, but I can very easily just be like, yeah, it's a stone golem. Also, Wicker Man. I don't know what that is, but it's unpleasant. This thing, I've known about this for forever, and I really like it. It's horrible. You got like a, sort of a mud or clay golem or something, and then yeah, these are just some of the art pieces that I have, and I'll go grab some more. I'll get a hold of whatever I need. And realistically, people don't buy these books for the art; they buy them for the monsters. Anyone who does buy them for the book, for the art, even like. And unless you've specifically made art for the book, and the art is the selling point of, or is one of the major selling points, people don't care if the art is just kind of there. People want art, but they don't really give a shit if it's all that incredible. Unless, people go from like, if you're releasing a book with like the promise there's going to be good art in it, then your art needs to be good. But if you're not, on the guild, people aren't really that fussed. Generally speaking, art helps sell, or can be a selling point, it doesn't have to be. And for these books especially, it's not. They're practical. So, something I want to do is look at the 5e golems, especially, because a lot of them are kind of wank, frankly. They're just a bit naff. There are There are 6 of them. There's flesh golems, clay golems, stone golems, dragonbone golems from Fizzbarns, which I will say I don't need to touch. The dragonbone golem is actually really cool. And the iron golem. Iron golem CR 16. The iron golem is actually kind of fine. It has, like, it does 2 different things. It's, my main thing is that, like, the iron golem has 2 different attacks. It has a slam and a sword attack, and it can make 2 melee attacks, but the sword attack just actively does more damage. If the slam had some other kind of secondary effect or something, it would be more interesting, but don't know. And there's also the snow golem from Icewind Dale, which is a cool monster, even if it looks kind of stupid. It's CR3. It has cold absorption, because of course it does. It has a snowball, which it has +0 to hit with. Oh, that's really funny. Oh, let's be okay. Right, so what I'm going to go through and do is I'm going to start with the stone golem, because the stone golem is, I think, probably the most reused and most reskinned monster in all of 5th edition, and it's easily one of the most boring and terrible. Stone golems are kind of garbage. The stone tappers, I'm not familiar. Tomb tap, yes, okay, right. I don't know. I didn't put them on my list, which implies I've definitely looked at them. Tomb tapper. Honestly, I kind of like how the Tomb Tapper looks and how it works. I think it's kind of cool. There's definitely something we can maybe do with it, but I think the Tomb Tapper is just cool. Like, it throws a fucking sledgehammer at you, and it comes back, and it can pull you and bite you, and yeah, it's actually really cool. Yeah, I don't know, but I want to start with the stone golem. So insert monster block. I use Homebrewery enough that I have just an auto hotkey script that spits out an entire stat block for me because I use them so much. Right, it is it's only large. It's a large construct. It is unaligned. That's something else I want to look at. Constructs in... Constructs in Murdy Curdy's. New Curdy's. I don't know. The fuck do you call, like, I liked calling it Murdy Curdy's before, but now there's 2 of those books and they're both very different. So what the fuck do you call it? There any just like generic? Yeah, okay, right. Mindless, like, golems are just unaligned. I wasn't sure if they were just like, no, they just don't have an alignment at all, but so I think the problem with golems, I think my biggest issue with golems is that their actual combat capabilities are hamstrung by the fact that they are immune to non-magical damage. And non-magical damage immunity, in my experience, is basically just code for this monster does no damage to justify the fact that it's immune to non-magical attacks. Like, that is all that means. Werewolves are even worse. Werewolves have like a CR half levels of damage output, but are CR 3 because they're immune to non-magical damage. And all it does is it says fuck you to low-level marshals. It means you can't use them unless you want to fuck over your low-level marshals, which is not fun. And then on top of that, it means that to balance their CRs at all, they have to massively pull their offensive capabilities down. So the stone golem especially puts out like 38 damage in a round. For a CR 10 creature, that's fuck all. That's nothing. Like, let me open up the damage calculator. A CR 10 creature should feasibly do like nearly double that, but it just doesn't, because it's like, oh, it has a a damage output of a CR 5 creature, which is half of 10 is 5. Like, that's not good. Stone golems, they have plus 10 to hit, which is really good. That's like a CR 17 dude, like, that's really strong. But like the golems, basically all of them follow the same metric, is that they have a melee attack which does a somewhat disappointing amount of damage. They have an AoE effect, most of which are bad, and that's it. The stone golem is the worst of all of them because it has its slowing ability, and its slow ability is just not very good. It's just not that great. There's so many different ways that you could have a stone golem like this work. It's so many different ways that they could be interesting, and they just fucking aren't. They're just not. They're just boring. And something I kind of want to do with the golems is make them a little more sort of, certainly some of the more generic ones like the stone golems and the iron golems, is give them different things that they can do. Give them different variants. Like, there's a regular stone golem that is just kind of a guy and he punches you, and then there is, there's variant stone golems that do other scarier things. Maybe there's a stone golem that does actually slows you when it hits you. There's a stone golem that shoots lasers out of its eyes. I don't know, there's a stone golem that does something interesting. So basically this stream is going to be me toying around with designs and trying to come up with like actually interesting things for some of these monsters to be able to do. That's really all it's going to be. Very, very simple. It's a large creature. It has 20, 17. Defensive CR of like 8. That's not too bad. Oh yeah, it also has. So something big I'm gonna do right off the get-go, just like straight away, is drop the damage immunity and change it to resistance. Because I like the idea of like, oh, adamantine, or maybe even all non-adamantine weapons, half damage, flat out, just half. But maybe not. That's. I'm gonna do a span here. Span style. There, I'm gonna do this. So see, The only downside to doing this in here is I can't really red text anything without doing that. But whatever, I don't care. So damage immunities, obviously same. Stone Golems, they're immune to poison and psychic because they're rocks. And of course, condition immunities will be the same as well. Senses, we're looking at dark vision, passive perception 10, and languages. Understands the languages of its creator but can't speak. I don't see a reason for us to change the challenge rating, so we will keep that as is too. This is +4. And no skills or saving throws because Stone Golem doesn't have that. It has immutable form, magic resistance, and magic weapons. Oh, shit. So, let's get our slam attack. So they are large creatures, they can hit things within 5 feet of them, that's not so bad. They have +10 to hit, they have a reach of 5, and they do yay bludgeoning damage. Oh, it should be +4. Oh, I guess put the stats in as well. That's something I want to do. Oh. Just closing some of my other tabs. I need to actually like remember to close tabs. Oh, that's the thing I need to have open. Where's my stat blockinator? Here we go. This will make my life slightly easier. It depends. Which one are you? Which one are you talking about? I have plenty of Excel things. This is the one that spits out homebrewery nonsense for monsters. Yes, like the vast majority of that Excel spreadsheet is actually very, very simple. There is some little bells and whistles that are actually quite complicated, but the vast majority of it is genuinely very, very simple. It's just concatenating things. Like the rest of it, yeah, is actually like pretty legit, but well, there are bits of it that are actually like pretty crazy, but for the most part, it is genuinely very, very simple. So hit points wise, I think its general hit points are kind of fine. Like its hit points are actually like pretty reasonable. It's looking at, yeah, defensive CR of like 19 already. Like that's the thing, is if it has immunities, right? Oh, no, apparently that does not make a single ounce of difference. But either way, it's like CR 20 defensive wise, which is why its attack, its offensive capabilities are just so poor. And I would argue very strongly that the Stone Golem's defensive capabilities are really not very impressive at all. It has resistances, it's just a big old sack of hit points, it doesn't really do that much. It has a debuff effect that is vaguely kind of scary, but generally speaking, the way encounters are designed, you fight one stone golem and nothing else. Like, all of these, like, adventures that have stone golems in them, you fight one stone golem, and then that's that. Like, that's the whole shebang. And you know, the thing uses its slow action, and that's its whole fucking turn. And that's boring and terrible. It's really bad. Like, hang on, here's the slow ability. It's recharge 5/6, which is, you know, sensible. It shouldn't be able to do this every turn. But, oh, it's also a 10-foot radius around it, so all of, like, the spellcasters and shit, it also doesn't have, like, it doesn't fuck over spellcast. Like, this thing's one weakness is spellcasters, because they can just pepper it from a distance, and it's fine. Like, they can pepper this thing from a distance, and, like, just not care. And it doesn't even apply the effect of slow that actually fucks over casters at all, so what's even the point? Like, this is, like, aside from the changes to the resistances that I did, where this would have been, you know, would have been here instead of here. This is a 5th edition stone gun. Oh, I also forgot to put the speed in. Whoops. There. Like, this is a 5e stone gun, and there's very little I've changed. But this is boring. It's boring, and it sucks. It is just not good, like, at all. Why is my watch thinks I've just taken steps? That's a lie. I guess I was just, like, waggling my hand around, but whatever. So, time to make this motherfucker a bit more dynamic. So, to start with, I'm going to reduce its hit points by an amount. I'm going to bring it down to, give or take, I'm going to go 12d10. That's 12 times 5. 12 times 5 is 60? Yes. 125? Is that right? 126. That doesn't sound right. Is that right? 12 times 5 is, 60. Just double checking, make sure I can do simple maths. 12 times 5.5? Oh, okay, no, it is 66. I don't know how I fucked that up. So that's one thing I want to do. I'm going to do something with slow, like with this slowing action. I don't know what, but I'm going to do something. I'm then going to go reactions, and then I'm going to actually give it a reaction. Stone's Endurance. I don't think there's any, off the top of my head, I can't think of any specific races that are, like, actively better for an Arcane Trickster. I will say, if you're playing an Arcane Trickster, pick Booming Blade. Like, just pick up Booming Blade. First opportunity you get, you pick up Booming. I guess High Elf then, because you can get Booming Blade from level 1. I guess, because like Booming Blade is I guess Booming Blade isn't actually that good at level 1. Like, it's only once you get Uncanny Dodge, because basically you're an Arcane Trickster. You go in, you cast Booming Blade, you disengage, and you. Oh yes, you know already. But for everybody else, Arcane Trickster, in my personal opinion, was total dog shit before Tasha's, or I guess before Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. 7th level. Oh, okay, you got a bit more options. I would say in that case, honestly, I don't think there's a race that is, by and large, just better in that case. Nothing comes to mind anyway, off the top of my head. But yeah, for anyone at home who doesn't know, Arcane Trickster, I would like to say that this is fact. I've seen people say otherwise, but I don't think their arguments have ever been convincing to me. Is that Arcane Trickster, before Booming Blade was a thing, was total dog shit. It's just terrible, awful rogue subclass. Like most of the rogue subclasses are terrible and awful. And then Booming Blade comes along and makes it actually really quite strong. It's still not the best by any means, but it's a very interesting and fun way of playing. Really, like, it's a fun subclass. It was just bad because you don't get any actually good. None of the spells you get are useful in combat, like, at all. You're like, no, you don't get anything until like really high level. It's just bad. But Booming Blade legit just makes it good because you move in, cast Booming Blade, hit a guy, disengage, and leave. And if they want to come after you, they have to move towards you and take the damage from Booming Blade. And if you take mobile, which you should be taking as a rogue, you'll be faster than them anyway, so they won't even reach you. They'll dash, get to you, take a bunch of damage. That's that. It's just very good. Yes, Shadowblade. That is a very good point, actually. Yes, I'd forgotten about Shadowblade. Shadowblade is also another spell that makes, like, Arcane Trickster actually pretty good, because Shadowblade is a really great spell. It's really fucking good. It's just most of the classes that get it can't use it in any way that's actually useful. It's great for Blade Singers, great for Arcane Tricksters. Everybody else that gets it, it's completely fucking useless. Like, I'm sure there's a Saw Fighter build that can utilize it 100%, but no one plays Saw Fighter because, I don't know, they don't like fun, I guess. I just really like Saw Fighter. I really want to play one at some point. I do have a character lined up for it. I want to play a Storm Sorcerer Fighter, go full strength, like, make my attack, action surge, quicken spell, Booming Blade, do a shit ton of damage. It just sounds really fun. Yeah, big like polearm or something. Sounds fun. The Golem. Yeah, it doesn't really come online until like really come online until like 8, which is kind of garbage. But like, you can just go fighter 5 and then just go, sorcerer up. Like, up until that point, you're just a fighter, so, like, you're not bad at that point. It's just the build doesn't come online until 8, once you have Quicken Spell. I guess you could start sorcerer, but that just seems kind of bad, honestly. Either way. Let me check old Uncanny Dodge. I need to look at Master Thief. Subclass, not subclass, stat block for that. Let me look at Martial Arts Adept. You do get access to other things. It's just you only get them at certain, like, you would have to wait until level 8 to pick up Vortex Warp. But at level 8, you would specifically be when you get it. You would get one non-enchantment illusion spell, I think you get one at 3, one at 8, and one at something else. Like, it's a really weird restriction that really, like, hurts. Like Eldritch Knight and Arcane Trickster, like, it just really, really hurts them. Like, Eldritch Knight is mostly quite good. Mostly just because Action Surge as any kind of caster is just good. Let me check player classes real quick. Right. So I want to do something with slow. I like the Stone's endurance ability. I think it's really fun. My main thought is that like this effect is really strong. But I don't know if that necessarily matters. Where's that 17 DC coming from? Oh, okay, no. Oh, it's coming from Con. Okay. I think I know what to do. I guess it doesn't need to be a bonus action. Then uses slow if available. I think the Babao has something like this. No, it doesn't. This feels better though. This feels like this thing actually has like an action economy. It has things that it can do, things that it can use. I'll make this like 3, or I'll make it 4 per day because it's like proficiency bonus number of times per day. That seems sensible. Neat. I can respect that. Right. So, looking at these final stats, these obviously aren't, final, but this feels better to me than, like, whatever we had before. Because now I feel like this kind of lackluster damage is actually justified in some way. You know? Like, this effect is a part of its action. It does it. It punches you in the face twice, and then it uses this slow ability, which instead of slowing you for a minute, instead slows you for a round to justify the fact that it, is this whole effect. Obviously, this effect is still quite powerful, because basically melting someone's turn is a bad time. Really, like it's a bad time. And this stone's endurance ability adds a little bit of nuance to the stat block. These are the kinds of like little changes that I want to make to most of these stat blocks. Now, with the stone golem especially, I'm like, it needed this. I'm so sick of throwing stone golems at players and them just completely being melted immediately because these things just aren't CR10. If they have a magical weapon, it is just an annoying slog. It's all it is. But now, it's, dynamic. The slow is something it doesn't waste its whole fucking turn using, but also doesn't melt several of your opponent's turns. It's like, if you fail the save, your next turn is going to feel kind of bad. But it means you have to kind of play around it. You have to be kind of scared of it, as opposed to just be kind of annoyed about it. Means you can sort of have like this fast-paced kind of sort of turn cycle and just get more done, really. I like this. This is good. I'm very happy with that. I'm not sure if we're going to get on to like making new golems today necessarily, but I do want to like go through some of the old golems because man, they are just fucking boring. That's like the main thing with Golem is like this project Golem is I want to make the golems specifically more interesting. I'm going to move on to the flesh golem because the flesh golem is a different kind of boring, I find, because it has no special abilities beyond just its attack, and it has a berserk ability, where if it starts its turn missing under half its health, it rolls a d6. On a 6, it goes berserk. It just attacks the nearest creature. When it's berserk, it just attacks the nearest creature, and that's it. It just goes berserk. The likelihood of this happening is very low, because the flesh golem has bad AC, not that many hit points, and it's immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. So if you just have the weapon, it doesn't matter. You just melt straight through its health. The likelihood of this thing starting its turn under 40 hit points and rolling a 6 and getting more than one turn berserked is negligible. Like, genuinely is probably never going to happen. Like, it just is how it is. Let's tab this over here. Insert monster block. Flesh golem. Medium construct. Unaligned, has AC 9. It has a pretty negligible number of hit points. Uh, 30 feet. Let's plug its stats in. Nothing particularly exciting. Probably taking a break relatively soon because I'm hungry. So feel free to drop it in if you like. So these here, passive perception ignoring is just not a thing. Like, this probably shouldn't be an action. This should just be an effect. Creatures within 30 feet of you have disadvantage on wisdom perception checks made to detect you. A creature immune to the charmed condition is immune to this effect. Like, this shouldn't be an action. This is really clunky. But just disadvantage on wisdom perception reduces their passive. It reduces, if you have disadvantage on a check, your passive reduced by 5, advantage gives you +5. Hardening mud. I would cut this. This is kind of clunky. It ends its turn within 5 feet of you. It. They use it, not they, for when referring to creatures, like collectively. That's just like a wording thing. 5 piercing damage. This is implicit. Like, you're not attacking or revealing yourself, so this is implicit. This, I would just make it so that if you have a hand free, you can grab their weapon. Otherwise, the weapon is drops to the ground. And then nix this. Yeah, I think these are interesting. Right. Flesh Golem has immunity to lightning and poison damage, and resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from all of this stuff. And then it is immune to these conditions: dark vision, challenge, and XP. 5, 1, 8, 0, XP plus 3. So, as of now, I'm looking at nixing Berserk in favor of something else. I like the idea. It's sort of like a Frankenstein thing. Frankenstein sort of loses control and kills things in an area around him. Like, fair enough. However, that's all this thing does, and this is a whole lot of text to describe an effect that just isn't interesting at all. Like, it just isn't interesting. Like, it never comes up in combat. It's never relevant. It's just a whole lot of text to describe something that just doesn't fucking need to be here. It just doesn't. And otherwise, it just has a slam attack, and that's all this thing does. I think that, yeah, that makes sense. I just think it's like, that trade-off is just kind of irrelevant, because making camouflage is really not very difficult. From what I remember, making camouflage doesn't really cost you much money. It's not hard to do. So making you track, like, damage on your camouflage seems kind of irrelevant. I may be wrong, and, like, it may be expensive to make camouflage. I don't remember, but to my knowledge, yeah, no, it just takes, it just takes 10 minutes. Like, I think if anything, the fact that they had hit points at all is kind of unnecessary, because they only take 10 minutes to make. Like, if you want that realistic wear and tear, then that's fair enough, but that just, I don't think it really matters, is the most important factor. Like, It's one of those things. I don't think it really adds to the experience. It's realism for the sake of realism, you know. It's not an inherently bad idea. It's just it doesn't really add anything and provides an amount of bookkeeping that doesn't help or improve the theme or the power of the subclass at all. It's just bookkeeping. But I don't know. Interestingly, the Flesh Golem actually does a lot of damage. Like, significantly more than the Stone Golem does. Or not significantly more, but not significantly less. It still has a pretty low damage output for a CR5 creature. Like, let me look at this thing real fast. CR5, it does 26 damage, which is about CR3 worth of damage, but it's also resistant and it has lightning absorption and things like that. So I feel like we could maybe give it reckless attack. We could maybe give it rage. You know? What's stopping us from it having rage? You know what? Yeah, let's give it rage. That might actually be the vibe here. Now, oh no, bullet points do work. They just are indented very strangely. That'll be some CSS stuff I'll have to fix. I'm not opposed to it, but that's potentially that feels like variant territory, you know. That's I like that. That feels like variant territory, which is something I may well put in. that's something I'm gonna need to work out. That's how I'm gonna get this indent to go away, but that's fine. I might. Oh, hang on. Span. I will likely go for probably another. I'm going to take a break in a minute, but I will likely go for another hour or so, give or take. I'm going to have like slightly, sort of slightly longer streams. Emphasis on slightly for today and Monday because I am going away on Wednesday and I won't be back until late Monday evening. So there will be, like, aside from Monday. After Monday, there will be no streams until the following Wednesday, and I want to make at least a bit of a dent in this. How do I pop this out? I can never remember how to pop this out. Here we go. Is it the padding? Oh no, I think it's the indentation. Yes, it is. Text indent. Text indent 0. Can I not spell? I may not be able to spell. Yeah, sure. That's all good. It's all good. Hope the thing goes well. I might actually just get rid of this. This is kind of unnecessary. I mean, look at rage. Oh, I know how to do. Okay, right. This is an LI. Yeah. What does HR stand for? I can never remember. Oh, that's a HR. I'll toy around with this. That was I did actually. That's because it's a span. Yeah, it's because it's a span. That's why it's not working, because it's inside of. Okay, yeah. I will fuck around with this in my own time. I will get this right. But for now, let me check the flesh golem again. There, so we maintain that sort of berserk feel in that it raging is actually kind of, you know, like potentially a problem. Yeah. I'm quite happy with this. I think this is much more interesting. This thing actually, you know, does things. Its rage, you know, it's actually like pros and cons as to like if this thing's rage ends, it's fucked because it just drops unconscious for a minute. Like it just passes out. Let's go 10 minutes because a minute feels kind of weird. I quite like that. It's still simple and very easy to run, but it has some actual abilities that you as a DM need to think about in any capacity. And I think that's really what we kind of need to value. Yeah. I think I'm going to take a break there because I'm hungry. I want to go grab some food. I also have some coffee here I haven't actually touched like at all. Is it cold? Almost. I realized I've had like 5 cups of coffee today. 2 of them were like double shot, like things. I need to not drink any more caffeine today. It very much is. Very much so. It was a mistake, but no, I just do that anyway. I've only started drinking coffee in the past like 4 months maybe. I used to stay up way later than I do nowadays. I'm going through sort of a stint of staying up later than I usually do. I usually go to bed, normally at sort of like 3, but lately I've been going at like 4 or 5, which I don't really care. I get up at 10 or 11 every day regardless, so... Oh, right, I'm gonna grab some food. I'll be back in like 15 minutes, we're gonna carry on. I might try and get all of the golems done today. That might be my task for today, is doing all of the golems. After this there is the clay golem. Clay golems... Oh, guess what? The clay golem also goes berserk. And there's no basis for it doing that either, so it's just kind of fucking boring. It also has a haste ability, which is honestly cool. Just doesn't make any sense for the clay golem to have a haste ability. Like, what does that even mean? Also, it's an action, so it's like, oh, I spend my whole turn to... Oh no. So it hastes, it gains AC, has advantage on dex saves, and can make a slam attack as a bonus. So it sacrifices a slam attack to get a slam attack on its... That's entirely net neutral. That's entirely net neutral. It has the same amount of slam attacks. It just gets +2 AC and advantage on dex saves. Yeah. That's actively just a trap. That's totally just a trap. What the fuck? Okay. Whatever. I'm gonna come back and look at that. I'm gonna go fix the fucking clay golem, I swear to God. Oh, that's the thing. The clay golem slam attack does actually do something. It reduces your hit point maximum. The other 2 have slam attacks that just kind of do fuck all. I'm also going to put in, before I go, I'm putting a little note here. Let me just go page here. See if we can make this a wide block and see what that does. Oh, it actually works out very nicely. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. And then we can have the sort of the variant like up here somewhere. I'll fix all of this weird spacing thing that's like a non-problem. I'll go solve that. Either way, I'm gonna go food. I'll be back in a bit. I will be about 15 minutes. I'll carry on as normal. See you in a bit. Okay, right. I'm back. Apologies. I got caught up. I was getting messages about work. And I had to respond to them. And we ended up talking about, like, industry, like, challenges and things like that for, like, 10 minutes. So, whoops. Alas, we shall now carry on. Now, I said I wanted to get all the golems done today, and I'm still going to strive for that. Because there are 3 more to do. There is the clay golem, CR9. I'll just do them page by page for now, for the sake of simplicity. I'm just going to grab the flesh golem and use that stat block. Clay golems are inexplicably large. They have a 14 AC. Weirdly, clay golems are CR9, so they're kind of the same sort of zone as stone golems, except they're significantly more dangerous. Correction, no they aren't. Never mind, ignore everything I just said. I just sort of read into them a bit more and realized, wait, no, that's just wrong. That is just not correct. They have acid absorption, so it's kind of garbo. Acid, poison, and psychic. They're also really slow for some reason. I don't know why. You've reached 5. Why does it reduce your hit point maximum? Like genuinely, why does it do that? Like to what is the flavor? What is the mechanical reason for it to do the thing that it, the one unique thing that it does? That is my question for you, Mr. Clay Golem. Why are you the way you are? Oh, I forgot I need to plug in its stats. I haven't done that. Everything else is, about the same. So we've got all this health, we've got like an okay AC, we've got damage resistance, we've got magic resistance, all of this. So we have the haste ability, which I think is a misnomer. I don't think it makes any sense for the clay golem, which is very explicitly slow, to have a haste ability. I think that's really stupid. I have an idea. Can then use earthen restraints. The target becomes restrained. Which instantly hardens. Into a hardened trap. I need to actually look at like the tree blight. Don't mind me, just clearing my throat. Tree blight. No. 10 hit points, vulnerability to bludgeoning damage, and immunity to acid, poison, and psychic damage. The creature inside is freed. Hardens into an imprisoning trap. The clay is a medium object with AC 14, 10 hit points, vulnerability to bludgeoning damage, and immunity to acid, poison, and psychic damage. If the clay is destroyed, the creature inside is freed. Pseudopod is pulled up to so this is definitely one of the more sort of out there, well, not out there, but more sort of drastic changes I've made, because it completely reimagines what the clay golem is and does. Obviously all of these numbers can be tweaked, like it's you know, all of these numbers can be changed where needed. I changed it just to 11. Because if this, you know, doesn't add up to CR9 or something like that, then it's not really a big deal. Need to actually look at the roper. How does the roper's reel work? There we go. Did I spell pseudopod correctly? That's important. Cube. I did not. Pseudopod. Yes. Okay, right. This, I think, is cool. It means that this creature is difficult, is easy to get away from, but if it catches you, you're kind of screwed, right? If you move 30 feet, it will move 20 feet towards you, and then grab you with its pseudopod, and then punch you twice, and then use earthen restraints. And whilst all your allies have gotten away, now you are trapped and are being bludgeoned to death. Mind of restrained, unable to breathe, and has 3/4 cover. So whilst it's imprisoned, it does have a bunch of cover. Oh. Oh. I'm back. Yeah, I like this. This is cool. Next up on the list is the Iron Golem. Iron Golems are the most powerful golems in the base game, and I think are probably some of the more interesting of the golems. Because they actually have an ability that's worth using. They have their Poison Breath, which does, like, a genuinely pretty scary amount of damage, like that they're actually, like, a threat. Unlike most of the other golems, where they're just not really that interesting or scary. Whereas the Iron Golem is this big, hulking, imposing figure with like 200 hit points. It has 20 AC. It's this huge fuck-off guy. It is a big and scary dude. And it has the capacity to do an absolute fuck ton of damage to you. I'm just plugging it in my stat blockinator. Right. I'm not going to bother putting in like immutable form, magic resistance, and magic weapons. Because I can literally just go, yeah, and grab them. Put them there. Almost there. No. Decided to make a very loud, annoying noise. There we go. So this is all of it. This is the whole stat block. This is everything the Iron Golem does. It's interesting because it has this ability, which is fairly useful. It's just not the most interesting thing in the world. See, I don't think we need to change much with the Iron Golem, because I think it works quite well as is. Something I am going to change, though, is I'm going to make it so that there's actually a reason for you to ever use the slam attack. Oh no, they do 19. But where does that 19 come from? 5 plus 5 is 10. No, yeah, where does DC 19 come from? Yeah, that DC is just incorrect. It should be an 8. Should be 18. DC 18 strength saving throw or be pushed up to 10 feet. I guess it's pretty better to do. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 18 strength saving throw, be pushed up to 10 feet away from the golem and knocked prone. This thing puts out like 43 damage. Yeah, that's kind of nothing, huh? Like 43. This is a CR 16 creature. Yeah, it's doing less than half the amount of damage that it should be doing. (40-10) is 22 to 28 points of damage. This thing's to hit is wrong as well. Right? Yeah, this thing's to hit is just incorrect. Let me just make sure I'm not like brain dead here. Hang on. I'm gonna actually like open the monster manual and make sure that it's not just my index that's wrong. No, this thing's stats are just wrong. They design, yeah, it's to hit. It's to hit, and it's DC, and its save throw DC, or as if it has a strength of 26. That's really strange. I've never seen that before. Certainly, I've never seen that in the monster manual before. That's insane. Like, I've seen it in other books. Like, certainly some of the newer, like, all the original 5e books have, like, really weird little things wrong with them. Like, there's lots of spells in the PHP that are horribly worded or just worded wrong. And there's some, like, really weird wording choices for certain things, but I've never seen a monster stat block which bonus to hit is just blatantly incorrect. Like, you know, last I checked, pretty sure 7 plus 5 is 12, not 13. That's really odd. I've never seen that before. Not, like, ever. The Iron Golem steps on your head to make sure you're dead. It doesn't work quite as well as the Earth Elemental steps on your head to make sure that you're dead, but, you know. Hit. That's way too much damage. $2d8 is 9, that's 16 bludgeoning damage. So either this thing hits you with its sword twice for 56 damage, which is it's pretty lackluster, honestly. Or it does 16 damage and then 28 damage and then 28 damage if it knocks you prone. Or it does like it's a 15-foot cone. That's the thing with the poison breath. It's a very small area for not all that much damage. Has an average damage of like 65, give or take. It's plus 12 to hit, which is really good. There's hit points of has 210 hit points. Resistances has an AC 20. And it also has magic resistance. It's apparently CR 17 because it has a really high defensive like thing. So maybe this is okay? Like, I don't think this thing is CR 17 like at all, because I think magic resistance is enormously overvalued by CR calculators, because magic resistance is only good if you already have a good bonus. Like, it doesn't matter if this thing has magic resistance, it's still gonna fail most dex saves that it makes, right? Like, most of the time. You know, it goes from having like it does increase its chance of succeeding, don't get me wrong, but let's say you have, I don't know, like an 11th level wizard, or whatever, or we'll say 9th, just for the sake of simplicity. The wizard has 20 intelligence, so plus 5, it's 4, it's 9, that's a DC 17, right? So the golem needs to roll, just like needs patently to roll an 18 or lower, so that's a 15% chance of success. That does basically, you know, it increases its chances to like 27-28%, which is a market increase, but it doesn't increase its chances that drastically. What magic resistance does is it takes creatures that already have a really high bonus to their saving throws and basically makes it so they can never fail those saving throws. Like, statistically, it's improbable for them to fail them. And like, I mean, you know, improbable from like a statistical base, not just like, oh, it's, you know, it's 10%. I mean, like, you know, like sub 1%. You know, if a creature, for instance, has plus 9, that all they need to do is roll a 9. So they need to roll, so it's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it's 12. So 12 times 5 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 12 times 5 is they have a 60% chance of success. Yeah, it's and like plus 9 is a pretty low save. Like plus 9 is good, but you know, you get monsters that have like plus 14, plus 15 to their saving throw, and it's just like, you just can't fail at that point, right? Like you just can't. You know, if you have like a 95% chance of success, which, you know, or whatever in your number of trials, you're literally up to like a 99% chance. Like, There are lots of saving throws the monsters just need to nat 1. So I'm actually going to take off magic resistance from the CR calculation and see how that changes things. Brings it down to CR 16. Okay, never mind. But yeah, that's sort of my less of a rant, more so. But like magic resistance, putting magic resistance on this Iron Golem makes sense, but it mostly doesn't mean anything. It's like, oh, don't cast con save spells on the Iron Golem. Okay, don't cast strength save spells on the Iron Golem. Why would you? There's not many of those. You probably shouldn't. You wouldn't think to do that in the first place. And a lot of con save spells do poison and psychic damage, so it's immune to that anyway. But yeah, that's magic resistance varies wildly in its power, and it's dependent entirely on your saves. If you have good saves, magic resistance, or if a monster has good stats and just good saves overall, magic resistance is insane. If you look at this creature, it doesn't make the Iron Golem any more, tangibly speaking, any more likely to succeed on an in-whiz or charisma save. It doesn't turn an improbable saving throw into, an entirely possible one. It takes a saving throw it's unlikely to make and makes it slightly less unlikely to make. It's fairly irrelevant. I think, offensive CR, we're still looking at a pretty piddly, 11. I feel like we could bump up this damage a little bit more and it would probably still be fine. I say probably, just would blatantly still be fine. I feel like bringing down the stomp is something we should be doing. That brings it down to 22, I think. 23. It was close. It was a close guess. And then we can probably bring this back up, maybe, to 3d8? No, we'll probably keep it as is. Because I feel like the stomp is, pretty strong in and of itself. Is it? Actually, no, stick with the stomp being kind of crazy. I feel like this poison breath needs to be better. I say we do that, and we do that. That's another 7 that goes to 52. No. So 9, it goes to 54. I think. Yeah, okay. Second time around. Right. So I have some sip of my water, but there's fuck all left. It's 7:45. Getting towards the end of the evening. I think first draft wise, this is getting there. This is these golems I'm generally quite happy with at the moment, but I need to get some more stuff done on them. The last golem is the snow golem from Icewind Dale. It's just a funny little guy, just a funny fella. I will put him next to the iron golem just for the sake of simplicity. Insert monster block. So that's a thing that I haven't put on these stat blocks, is unusual nature. That's the new thing that Murdy Cody's have, or a lot of the new books have. The Snow Golem straight up does not know any languages. That's because it has an intelligence of 1. That feels kind of arbitrary. I'm gonna probably change that, honestly. blind sight. I'm just gonna... Yeah, they all have the same mental stats, save for the clay oh, the flesh golem is slightly smarter and slightly more charismatic because it's like a living dude, kind of, sort of. Right, the snow golem. It is a medium construct. It's unaligned. Has an AC of 8. It does not have very many hit points. It has a speed of 10 feet. It seems kind of garbage. Yeah, it seems... Oh, well, yeah, this thing is straight up just a joke, huh? It is vulnerable to fire, understandably. It is resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks. It is immune to all of the relevant conditions. I put that in the wrong spot. It is immune to cold, poison, and psychic, even though the Icewind Dale one is not immune to psychic damage. Apparently snow can be influenced by psionics. Who knew? It's 15 strength. Has 6 dexterity. Okay, no, that's correct. I thought its stats were wrong, but no. Now, the snowball is where it's just kind of trash. Because it has a +0 to hit, and the base one can only make 1 snowball attack per turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so it can actually use its strength for anything. So, ranged weapon attack. Honestly, I think this thing is kind of neat as is. I don't, I honestly don't see much reason to really change it all that much. I think there's definitely something interesting that we can do with it. I'm not, opposed to doing something interesting with it. Makes 2 slam or snowball attacks. So, slam and snowball. The Snow Golem art from Icewind Dale is very dumb. I really like it. So what is this? I actually need to double check this thing's CR and see what its damage output is. So hit points wise, it does have vulnerabilities, and it's a relevant vulnerability. It has resistances, it has AC 8 and 39 hit points. That's nothing. That needs to increase badly. DPR, it either does 12 times 3, that's 26, or it does 9 times 3. It does about 31 damage, and it has plus 4 to hit. That's a defensive CR of fat ol' 0. and an offensive CR of 4. So, yeah, I think it needs more hit points. Just a tad. It does, of course, have cold absorption, which will probably come up once in an encounter with these things. No, it won't, because unlike all of the other golems, it's not immediately obvious that this thing is works the way that it does. Oh, I actually have a really... Speaking of absorption, I actually have a really fun story to tell. If AJ is here, she will know because she was there. But I do actually have something really funny. Wait, no, ignore me. You were the one that did the thing in question, actually. I think. I can't... Oh, no, it was Jade. It was Jade. It was Jade and Finn. So, this is in, the climax of my West Marches campaign. And at this point, all of the characters are, over level 20. They have crazy abilities. They're all fucking indestructible, and they're fighting God. I won't give all the necessary context. We'll be here for an hour. However, important stipulation, for the final fight, Finn had been toying around with, he was playing a Dragonborn Bard. He'd been playing the character for quite a while, and he'd been, basically his bread and butter had been casting shape change and doing kind of whatever the fuck he felt like. It was a bunch of stacking buff spells on himself to keep his shape change up, and just, going around and using the attack action of the scary creature he turned into, whilst also, being a bard and having all the benefits of being a bard. And for the final fight, welcome back. I'm almost done. I'll be stopping relatively soon. I'm in the middle of telling a story about fire absorption from a home game. I'll sort of just reiterate. Final campaign, or final session of my West Marches campaign, player of mine, Finn, his character, Dragonborn Bard, had been playing with shape change for a long time at that point. He'd had shape change for a while. And it was his bread and butter spell. He'd stack a bunch of spells to keep his shape change up, take the attack action, whatever scary creature he turned into. Started out as a white dragon, then turned into a solar for a while. He did a few other things as well, but it was mostly a ancient white dragon or solar. And he would, take the attack action as the scary monster and still retain all the benefits of, just being a bard, i.e. inspiring people as a bonus action, casting healing word, things like that. Final session, Finn finds a monster he's going to turn into. He doesn't tell me about it beforehand. And he starts the session and says, I turn into the Colossus of Akros, which is a gargantuan construct from Mythic Odysseys of Theros, and it's a big statue of me. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Fun fact, the Colossus of Akros has fire absorption, so someone else in the party had fancy, like a bow that could summon dragon breath. So it got to a point where he'd lost most of his health. And he was just shoot the had this rogue with this fancy bow, shoot the big bad evil guy, and would just choose fire damage on her dragon breath shot, and it would just heal him for 40 hit points. I think he probably got the rogue provided more provided some ridiculous It was like 100 hit points worth of healing or some bullshit to like this 200 health Colossus of Akros. That combat was ridiculous. I had a wizard use Wish for something other than duplicating a spell. He used it to fully heal everybody in the party, because there was like 3 people down, and everybody else was super low. They'd like fought to get him to consciousness. Like there was a whole bunch of initiative fuckery and like trying to like sequence turns to make sure this little gnome wizard was conscious for this one turn, so that he could cast Wish and basically heal everyone. And that was the reason they won the fight, was because they played that super well. And this wizard was able to like cast Wish. I realise all the relevant people I've just described in this story are in Angela's Mortal Manual, all of those characters. Lauren, Pockets, and Whisper, and Zai are 4 of the characters who are in that campaign, who are all in Angela's Mortal Manual. Which, coincidence really, but is very funny. I have a feature. Horned Devil. I calculated 3, but 3, but I wrote 2. Becomes restrained by the frost. Oh. Oh, my recording stopped. That's not good. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. I'm gonna have to fucking download the VOD now, for fuck's sake. Ugh. Pain in the ass. Is my hard drive full or something? Yeah, it's full. Oh, I know why. Oh, that's really fucking annoying. I haven't had to do that in months. Like 6 months at least. Yeah, I need to go find my recycling bin. Yep. Yeah, I just cleared like 200 gigabytes on my PC. Sake. It's gonna be it's so annoying. Downloading VODs takes forever because they're like 15 gigabytes. Ugh. Well, what can you do? It's gonna happen at some point, but whatever. What the fuck was I even talking about? I was talking about... Oh, I don't remember what it was. Oh no, I was just trying to template this ability. The reduction increase English temperature, it becomes restrained by the frost. Let me look at Entangle. Oh no, it's the gelatinous cube. This is the way to do it. No. It's just the... creature. That would be weird creature type wise, I think. But I need to read the effect. I'm using the gelatinous cube wording, or I was anyway, just had to change it to something else. So it has this chilling frost ability, it can slow you down, and I'm now going to give it some extra health because, I mean, come on. 6, it has 14 con, let's just go up to 8. Let's go up to 10. Let's go up to 12. Yeah, this thing is actually kind of legit now. I think I'm going to end things there, but I'm quite happy with how this is coming out so far. All of the, the base boring golems have been interesting-ified in some way, in little ways, like with the iron golem, which just has a little bit more dynamism, like you can choose to do basically one of 3 things instead of one of 2 things on your turn now as an iron golem. The snow golem has this cool chilling frost mechanic, and it's actually not complete dog shit. The flesh golem doesn't have berserk and is thus way more interesting. And the clay golem has basically been completely reimagined. And the stone golem has stone's endurance. Slow has been changed to bonus. It's been changed to something you can do as a part of his action. It's been sort of nerfed a little bit to compensate. Ultimately, I am very happy with how this is sort of going so far. On Monday, I'm probably going to try and make some new constructs. Probably make some new golems, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to head off here. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I'll be back on Monday to do some more of this. And then I will be off for the better part, for just over a week because I'll be away. But either way, folks have enjoyed themselves. You can press buttons if you want. I don't really care. Yeah. So thanks very much. Either way, I'm gonna head off because I want to go use a loo, and then I guess I need to go download the VOD. Either way, see ya.